Good morning, good afternoon and good evening all. Welcome to the second lecture in the fifth module. In this lecture I am going to discuss about the centralization of authority and decentralization of authority. Centralization of authority means the concentration of authority at higher levels of the organization. It is simply a philosophy followed by the top management of an organization in which they believe that an organization needs to keep majority of the decision making authority with the top management of the organization, and minimum authority for management will be distributed to the middle and lower level managers of the organization. According to Lewis A. Allen, centralization is the systematic and consistent reservation of authority at central points within the organization. From this definition, you can understand that in case of centralization of authority, the authority for decision making will be concentrated to the central point or the top management of the organization. Then decentralization of authority. Decentralization means distribution of authority to the middle and lower level managers of the organization. It is a philosophy of the management of an enterprise in which maximum authority for the management of the organization will be distributed to the middle and lower level managers in the organization. According to Lewis A. Allen, decentralization is the systematic and consistent delegation of authority to the levels where work is performed. From this definition, you can understand that an organization which follows decentralization of authority will distribute the authority for decision making to the middle and lower levels of the organization, and minimum authority will be kept by the top management in the organization. Then re-centralization of authority. Re-centralization literally means centralization again. It is a practice on the part of the top management to take back that authority from lower level managers which was earlier decentralized if the situational or environmental factors facing the enterprise so demands. That means re-centralization means centralization of decentralized authority. An organization follows re-centralization when they feels that it is much better to take back an authority which is already given to middle or lower level manager in the organization. Then advantages of decentralization and limitations of centralization. Since all you know that decentralization and centralization of authority are exactly opposite of each other, the advantages of decentralization becomes the limitations of centralization, and advantages of centralization become the limitations of decentralization. First advantage of decentralization: light burden on top management. In case of decentralization of authority, the authority for the management of the organization will be given to the middle and lower level managers in the organization. So it will help the top management of the organization to reduce their workload. But centralization of authority leads to overloading of work for the top management or heavy burden on top management, because each and every activities in the organization needs to be managed by the top management in the organization. Second point of advantage of decentralization: it will facilitate organizational growth, but centralization of authority will affect the growth of the organization in negative manner. Decentralization of authority will help the organization for their future growth and development, because in case of decentralization of authority, an organization can make use of the ideas, viewpoints, skills, creativity, decision making capacity of each and every managers in the organization irrespective of the levels in which they are working. But in case of centralization of authority, the organization can make use of only the skills and capabilities of the top management of the organization. So it will affect the rate of growth of the organization. Then another advantage of decentralization, higher status for the lower level managers. Decentralization of authority will give higher status for the lower level managers in the organization, because by the way of decentralization of authority, the middle and lower level managers get authority for decision making and authority for give orders to subordinates in the organization. It will help them to improve their status in the organization. But centralization of authority will result in lower status for the middle and lower level managers in the organization. It is just because in case of centralization of authority, there is no authority for decision making or for giving orders for the middle and lower level managers in the organization. Then another advantage of decentralization, democratic management. Decentralization of authority will facilitate democratic management, because in case of decentralization of authority, the decisions will be taken by the managers from each level of the organization. But in case of centralization of authority, the decisions taken by the top management itself. So it leads to autocratic management. Then next advantage of decentralization, it will encourage the initiatives of the managers in the organization. But centralization of authority will discourage the initiatives on the part of the middle and lower level managers. Since middle and lower level managers in the organization have opportunities for decision making and give orders to subordinates in the case of decentralization, they have plenty of opportunity to make use of their initiatives in the organization. But in case of centralization of authority, there is no chance for the middle and lower level managers to make use of their skills, creative ideas, etc. in the management of the organization. So the initiatives on the part of the middle and lower level managers will be discouraged by centralization of authority. Then decentralization of authority will facilitate quick decision making. It is just because there are many number of managers are for taking decisions for the organization. But centralization of authority leads to delayed decision making, since the decisions will be taken by the top management itself. So it will take more time of the top management for decision making process. Then another advantage of decentralization, superior decision making. Under decentralization, the decision making is superior in the sense that lower level managers are close to the situational factors, in the context of which decisions have to be made. In fact, they practically deal with the situational factors and develop a better sense of appreciation. Centralization of authority leads to inferior decision making, because the top management of the organization is they are staying away from the actual working conditions or actual working of the organization. That may leads to inferior decision making. Another advantage of decentralization, it will facilitate managerial development. In case of decentralization of authority, the managers of middle and lower level of the organization is getting chances for make use of their managerial capabilities while dealing with the subordinates in the organization. So it will improve their managerial capabilities. But in case of centralization of authority, there is no chance for the middle and lower level managers in the organization to make use of their managerial capacities or managerial capability. So it will retard their managerial development. Then the last advantage of decentralization, rational planning. In case of decentralization of authority, the planning process of the organization will be done by the managers of every levels together. But in case of centralization of authority, the planning will be done by the top management itself. So suppose an organization is ready to follow decentralization of authority, it will help them to prepare rational plans for the future of the organization, because the managers from middle and lower levels of the organization are more close to the actual working of the organization. So they can give valuable suggestions and valuable opinions in the planning of the organization. But in case of centralization of authority, there is no chance for the middle or lower level managers to give suggestions in the planning process of the organization. So it may lead to egoistic planning. Then advantages of centralization or limitations of decentralization. The first advantage of centralization is that it facilitates consistency in decision making, and decentralization of authority leads to lack of consistency in decision making. Centralization of authority help an organization to ensure the consistency in decision making, because the decision making will be done by the top management itself, so they can easily ensure the consistency. But in case of decentralization of authority, the decisions are taken by managers from every levels in the organization, so it will become much difficult for the organization to ensure consistency in decision making. Second advantage of centralization, strong top management. Centralization of authority ensure a strong top management in the organization, because every decisions in the organization will be taken by the top management, or majority of the decisions taken in the organization will be taken by the top management in the organization. But decentralization of authority leads to weak top management, since the top management needs to distribute their decision making authority to the middle and lower level managers in the organization. The third advantage of centralization is that lower cost of administration. In a centralized setup of the organization, the cost of administration is lesser, because enterprises can operate with a limited number of managers. But in case of decentralization of authority, an organization needs to appoint more number of managers at each level of the organization to ensure efficiency in decision making process. So it leads to higher cost of administration. Then next advantage of centralization, broad approach to managing. In centralization, the top management has a broad outlook to the managing, as it takes decision from the system's perspective, viewing the functioning of the organization as a whole. But in decentralization, the managers of decentralized units have usually a narrow outlook to managing. For them, their own departmental interests are supreme, as against the overall interest of the whole organization. So, decentralization of authority will leads to a narrow approach to managing. Then another advantage of centralization, discouraging interdepartmental conflicts. Centralization discourages interdepartmental conflicts, because major decisions of departments are taken at upper levels of the management with an orientation towards departmental cooperation. But decentralization encourages interdepartmental conflicts, because different departmental managers take decisions in their own unique manners and styles. But decentralization encourages interdepartmental conflicts, because different departmental managers take decisions in their own unique manners and styles. Another advantage of centralization, mature decision making. In centralization, upper management or top management, because of its experience and broad outlook, is more mature in decision making. Such decisions carry the chance of being least risky for the organization. In decentralization, lower level managers, because of their less experience and narrow outlook, are less mature in decision making. Sometimes under decentralization, such risky decision might endanger the very survival of the business enterprise. Another advantage of centralization, retention of control by the top management. In centralization, top management retains tight control over the whole organization because of its vast powers. In decentralization, top management's control over the organization is loosened, as its substantial powers are passed on to the lower levels of the management. Then, centralization of authority leads to optimum utilization of resources. Under centralization, there is an optimum utilization of organizational resources because of rational allocation of scarce resources and different uses. But under decentralization of authority, there may be at times less than optimum utilization of resources because the same set of activities may be duplicated in various decentralized units, leading to wastage of precious resources of the organization. Then the last advantage of centralization, efficient handling of emergencies. In centralization, there is an efficient handling of emergency by the top management, and it can overcome organizational crisis in an intelligent and planned manner. In decentralization, lower level management may be frightened by emergencies and run to seek the shelter and guidance of top management for handling emergency situations. Failure to effectively deal with emergencies by lower level management may tell upon the survival and prosperity of the whole enterprise. Okay, these are the topics you need to study from centralization, decentralization and re-centralization of authority. Actually, this topic is one of the most important topics from the 5th module. You need to study the meaning of centralization, decentralization and the advantages and limitations of both centralization and decentralization. Okay, thank you.